Hey, everybody. Welcome back. So, thank you for the reminder. Yes. Hey, affirmers. How you doing? So, we're back again with another amazing episode. This is the AM Affirmation Space podcast. We have come to this space to share with you guys all of our wonderful knowledge. My name is Karen. I am known as the Affirmation Whisperer. I am responsible for a lot of the content that you see on my channel that talks about words, using your words well. So we'll get into more of that at a later time. I want to also introduce my esteemed co-host, Miss Clivia Allen, also known as Her Chosen Story with Clivia Allen. She has a podcast. She has books. She has it all, y'all. Her book, A to Z Affirmations for Women, that's the title, right? Actually, I got a copy here. I'll show it to you guys in a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm gonna show y'all a copy in a little bit. But right now, I just want to remind you that she does have a book. You guys check her out. She has all kinds of services and products available.
And there's a new release.
Oh, that's right. There is a new release.
We'll talk about it next episode.
Yes. And then of course, the amazing, the fabulous, the fantastic Miss Marcy of Marcy Moments. She is a co-host of Thursday Therapy Podcast that is on Facebook and IG every Thursday. Make sure y'all tune in because when it comes to mental health, she and her co-host, she has two, do an amazing job of sharing great nuggets for us to help us manage our mental health. With that being said, y'all, our topic today is about financial wellness, about us being empowered financially, owning your wealth. So I want to read this really quick because I had made this comment. I put this comment together for us for this topic, and I want to read it to our guest. Discussing the importance of financial independence, budgeting, saving, and investing, and how women can take control of their financial futures for greater security and freedom. And the reason why that resonates with me so much, I have very clear memories of growing up, not really knowing much about money. I didn't really know much about money until I got in my 30s. That's when I really started to grow and understand about things that you need to do, things you need to understand, like credit score and I had a bank account, but it was just for my paycheck to go into, or for me to put my paycheck into before they started direct deposit. But knowing how to manage your money well, how to manage your spending well, how to invest, knowing what the 401k plan and other financial benefits that your company offer, taking advantage of them, using them for your advantage. I didn't know about a lot of that out of ignorance. You hear about stuff, but because it doesn't resonate with you, you don't bother to look into it. I and my family, we didn't grow up talking about money. We did not grow up talking about money and the necessity of saving and the necessity of not being big consumers, right? I remember every Christmas, our tree would be covered with gifts. When I say cover, our Christmas tree would have gifts about 10 feet out from the tree, the base of the tree. That's how many gifts that we would buy. I have very clear memories of that. And I'm thinking, okay, we had these times during the year where we just would spend money. And before I had a shift in my mindset, buying all these frou-frou clothing for Easter and for Christmas and Mother's Day and all this kind of stuff, just spending. I was taught how to spend, but I wasn't taught how to save. I was taught how to spend, but I wasn't taught how to invest. And I was speaking when I was in the airport last time, this past week, a young lady was assisting me with my bags and such. And she was saying how she was working 2 jobs and how she was doing all kinds of things to have a better life for her children. And I asked her, I said, well, do you know about your company's 401k? Do you know about other ways where you can be invested? She said, no, I really don't. And you know what? I didn't shame her because at her age, I didn't know either, right?
Right.
But I educated her. I said, listen, I know you, it sounds like you didn't get an education on this, but we are in the information stage. We are in an information age where there's so much information out there. We really don't have an excuse Because all you got to do is get on Google or whoever you like to use and do a little research. Or even, and this is something that as a people, I'm going to say that a culture, we don't necessarily talk to each other in our circles unless we have matured financially to that stage about money. For me to
Yeah.
go to one of my girlfriends and say, you know what, I don't have any money in my savings and I really don't know how to do that. Don't feel I'm embarrassed to do that for one, because I kind of know I should have something in my savings, but I don't. And I don't want to admit that to my girls, because then I will feel less than. That's what I'll say about that. I will feel less than. They probably in the same boat as me, but they don't appear to be, right? They appear to have it all financially together.
Yeah.
Shame on me for assuming, right? Financial conversations, getting educated financially. And this is what I told that young lady. I said, please go out there and do some research, talk to people. I'm sure there's an investment planner attached at your job, your other job. She worked for American. And I know people who work for American Airlines. I know about their stock plan. I know about their 401k plan. So there really is no excuse for her not to be in there. She just needs to take the time to research. So, ladies,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask y'all: at what point, if you don't mind sharing, what age, what point in your life did you realize you needed to become more financially savvy, even like when it came to our credit scores or savings or having different accounts to do this, that, and a third? Share with me your thoughts on that.
Marcy?
Well, I know. So I've not always. I've had a clearance for the last 20 plus years, and with that, your credit has to be, I wouldn't say excellent, but it can be a hassle if it's not. So having that credit, having knowing that my credit had to be at least, what they would consider good. So I always had excellent credit, but I pay my bills on time. But the saving part was my hang up. I would have a couple of $1,000s in the bank, and then of course something would happen. So now I'm back to zero. I'm doing better. I'm doing better now, but I still have a lot more to go. So I remember my mother, she was complete opposite. It might have been one gift under the tree, because she didn't believe in spending during Christmas, because that's a whole nother story. And she was save, but she would be like, you need to save your money, not go here, and need to save your money, not do that. I'm not even gonna lie, the more she told me to save, the less I saved, because I'm not, and I had to tell her, lady, I ain't gonna die and not done anything. And I learned so much from her, but I also rebelled from her. But unfortunately, on her deathbed, she asked me to go get her some luggage, because she wanted to go and travel, because she never did it while she had the opportunity. So take the trips, but keep it in your budget. Save the money and buy those things, but you don't have to buy as many things. Okay? You don't need all 6 pair of shoes. I'm talking to myself now. Okay. But enjoy yourself, but
Yes.
keep a balance.
Yeah. Ms.
I
Clifford?
like that. Yeah, I mean, finance have always been a very sensitive topic for me. And I just remember starting working in summer youth. That's what we called it in New York at 16. Once I got my license, I got a car, $300 cash. Always had that independence. I saved, as we were taught to save money, not spend, never taught to invest. The high school I went to was technology and business. And again, certain things we just weren't taught in school. During not even college, I took different classes in regards to business, finances, management, all the things, but just a lot of things weren't taught, right? And now we are in an age of technology where we can self-teach. We have YouTube University, as we call it. And during, I want to say 2018, between 2018 and 2021, I started being in different groups, hearing about stocks, investing, Bitcoins, and all the different things on how we can make our money make money, right? We can sleep and money would be residual income. And we talk about breaking generational curses. Like, I don't want to live how my parents live and how they possibly manage their money, right? And even the other day, my son was like, Mom, when I grow up, I want to work hard. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to work hard. I want you to work smart. You know, and he has a friend, and he's only 13, and he has a 13-year-old friend who invests. He has accounts where his money's growing. And I'm like, keep him as a friend, because I didn't have those type of friends. We didn't learn these things, you know. And I remember being the giver, lending. And of course, sometimes when we lend, sometimes we shouldn't even expect a payback, right? So if you're lending, just make sure you're good without having to ask for it back. And I was always the lender. And in recent years, I want to say since I've been divorced, it's been harder, right? Having two children, growing children who loves their stomachs, they love food. Sometimes I could go a day or two without even having, like, you know, all the things, but have to make sure they're good. So now I find myself living paycheck to paycheck. I find myself stretching my hand like, hey, can I borrow this and I'll pay you back when I get paid? That type of thing. But even you mentioned, Kara, on credit. I mean, the world runs on credit. I attended Dave Ramsey, and I think we have some nuggets that he shared, some advice that he shared. And not everyone is going to believe the same things that maybe he teaches, but he teaches financial literacy. He teaches financial empowerment. My previous job, actually, I know that God placed me in that job. It's called Christian Financial Resources. And what they basically did was give loans to churches. And I learned so much within the 2.5 years that I was there about finances, because it says God owns everything and we manage everything for God. So we know that even with success, some people chase money, but the money's there. We just got to step in. We just got to know how to manage. We have to know, okay, are you giving your 10%? Are you giving your offering? Are you giving to others versus just being selfish with your money, right? And we were part of a group together, three of us, a few months ago. And I've learning so much, again, as an adult, learning every day about ways we can manifest our wealth, ways that we talk about prosperity. And prosperity is not money. It's how would you make things last? It's the longevity of things. So I love now, although it's sensitive, I love learning about it, because now I'm gaining the knowledge and I'm putting it into practice, where now I can teach my children, this is how this is going to go. This is these different accounts, all the things. So definitely learning and growing. Can we just show those financial advice, Madam Producer? So this is, again, it's just some advice that I looked up from Dave Ramsey, and you can check him out. Owning your wealth, gain control of your money. Let's see. Set a budget and give every dollar a name. It's important. Save $1,000 in a starter emergency fund. Use the debt snowball method to pay off debt. And I think that one, he was saying, take care of the small bills first. Pay your light bill, pay your phone bill. The rent, of course, is big, or your mortgage is bigger. So take care of the small ones first. Work a side hustle. I think I handled that side hustle pretty well. Do not invest until your debt is paid off. Okay. Stop using credit cards. And I was told yesterday that you should use credit cards. So say 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Awesome.
Very good.
Those are good advice.
Yeah, I love that. In listening to reading and listening to your tips, listen to Miss Marcy. I too, my grandmother, it's so amazing to me how different people in our family, like Marcy says, her mom was a saver, right? In your family, you were taught to save, but not necessarily any education on investing. You'll have these various people in your family that you see as, well off, I'll say, but no one shares how they became well off.
Right.
No one still tells you, well, this is how I did X, Y. Not everybody, but in my experience, no one shares that knowledge of how they became what they became in the way of wealth, right? I have a couple of friends that are multi-millionaires. Yeah, best kept secret it is. Multi-millionaires. And I wanted to ask them when I do get a chance to speak with them, I say, I want to ask, well, how did you do it? But I'm almost reluctant to ask them because they don't openly share it. Because I feel like I'll be invading on their personal information. Now, I don't need to know your dollars. Just know how you did it. What did you do? What ups and up? What was your uphill battle? What was your downhill battle? The ups and downs of the entire process, so that I can take some of that and incorporate it into my life. We don't share that information. We're
Yeah,
not
we don't
taught
They
that.
support it.
Gatekeeping,
Yeah, they,
exactly.
and,
We
it-
don't
and
share that at all. Go ahead, Miss Marcy.
now I'm like, why gatekeep? Because it's enough for everybody. If all
Yeah,
three of
there's
us had the solution, had a solution, not the solution, because it's not just one, but the three of us had a solution, and we're going to put H.E.R in here, the four of us, because it's four of us here. We all share that solution with each other. Then you pick which one works better for you.
right.
And we didn't gatekeep, and we became our sister's keeper.
Yeah. And we all
Yeah,
win at the end of the day. Like,
Yes.
and even that, like, why not tell me? Right. So we all can win. There's room at the table. Like, let's go. Let's get it.
exactly.
Because
Exactly.
even for me, if I learn one thing, I'm either gonna repost it or I'm gonna text it, check this link out. Why I'm gonna keep it to myself?
Yeah.
Why would I?
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's I do know that there's some in certain generations that are getting away from the gatekeeping. But those that the older generation, those older baby boomers, not
Baby
so much
boomers.
the younger baby boomers,
Mhm.
were gatekeepers for sure. Oh no, because I have a coworker of mine. I will never forget this. When I was beginning to really get educated about finances, I asked them. Yes, they are dying with their secrets, Char. I asked him about, in my mind, it appeared to me that he was financially savvy because, he just kind of gave that energy. And I remember going to his office and asking him, say, hey, why don't you share whatever I asked question about? He says, oh no, Miss Fairweather, no, I can't share all that with you. I'm like, but why? Well, one day. And I'm thinking, what? Boy, I ain't asked for a check. I did not ask for a check.
I
I
didn't
just
ask for a check or liver or kidney.
Right.
what's the bit? And I was so discouraged by that because he would have this thing of walking around the office talking about the one percenters and all this type of thing. And I'm thinking, or no, maybe it was a 10%, whatever the term
I think
was.
it's 1%, 1% club.
1%. And I'm thinking, well, are you one of them? Okay, if you're one of them, let me go to you and see how you did that so I can do the same thing, right? I didn't ask for a check. I didn't ask for his bank account. No, I didn't ask for how much money. I didn't ask any of that other than how did you do it, right? Death of the mentors, exactly. These people, and I'm sure they have their reason. Maybe they weren't taught to share. Maybe they figured it out for themselves, having that selfish mentality that makes everyone behind them struggle. Facts. I don't understand it. But okay, with all that being said, we are in the information age. Like you said, going to Google, going to YouTube, rather, going to Khan's Academy. I remember my son when he was in school, like, Mom, I need to figure out whatever math problem because he's really good at math. But he would go to Khan's Academy to find out how they did X, Y, or Z. There's so much information now that, okay, no, I wasn't taught this when I was growing up. It took me a while to get a grasp of what financial responsibility is. Okay, that's all good, well, and fine. Now, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
We have to take responsibility for those things we don't know. Yes, there's been gatekeeping, but the secret is there. You just have to find where the secret is. And it's not as hidden as we might want to believe it is. We just have to know where to go to get the answers, right? And that means sometimes making a small investment to attend a meeting or a workshop or etc. to get some information. Now, someone might say, well, why am I going to a workshop? I ain't got no money. Well, there you go. That's your problem right there, what you don't have.
Yeah.
when you do
that
have
Black mentality.
exactly.
And
So only go ahead. I'm sorry.
that's something as I do my rituals, I always remove any lack that
Absolutely.
hinders my blessing.
Absolutely. Most rich folks that get quoted in the press and on social media share and mentor at some capacity those they choose to mentor and show what to do to build and maintain wealth. The poor always hoard information.
Information. So true.
Isn't that ironic? The
That is so true.
poor
It's so bad.
hoard information. What are you hoarding? But you
You know,
it's true.
when I lived in
was
Crown Heights, living in Crown Heights, that area, there were a lot of Jews. And when you see the way these people live, I mean, they have their own ambulance, school bus, school. Of course, they have the synagogue, but they live as a community. You look at other cultures, the Chinese, the Asians. And then even when I visit Trinidad, there's Chinese and now there's Venezuelan, and they are bringing their culture to our countries. And why can't we as a people do the same? Because that's what it is. It's really keeping the wealth within our community. I support you with your books. I support you by, purchasing different things, and we keep it within. And we're still dealing with jealousy. We're dealing with envy. We're dealing with pride, and it don't
Yeah.
make sense.
You were going to say something, Miss Marcy?
it. So I remember one day, she's like a little sister to me. She called and asked me how to set up a for a nonprofit. Now one of her family members, which was a millionaire, she was a millionaire. She asked her, and she wouldn't tell her. Why wouldn't you tell her? First of all, this the cousin was a millionaire, or is still. And you asked me, I remember I was at an Old Navy shopping, and I told her, this is what you got to do. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do this. And she was like, wow. And her cousin, now mind you, she's like my sister, not blood, of course, but she was like, her blood wouldn't allow her. And has the money, and could have not only sat there and gave it to her, could have did step by step with her, and even gone in more details than I would have been in different venues that had other things. But I told her, because I had to do it. Everything I went through, I let her know. And then if there was any problems, you come to me and let's figure it out together. And guess what? Because, and that's one thing, when we bless others, God is going to always have that blessing coming back to us. And it might not be financially. We have children. I have a grandson, and we know that. And even though it doesn't seem like it's on top of wealth, owning your own wealth, but this is when you bless others, God will bless you, and it will come in so many different ways. And that wealth is not just money.
It's true. I was reading what H.E.R just shared that as a society, we are also currently dealing with thieves and fraudsters, especially during and after COVID. Another subject, another time. Many people are traumatized by that. So they are hesitant, right? Hesitant to support, hesitant to mentor. On that subject, a friend of mine who is a millionaire was sharing with me how he was mentoring another young black man that he's in his 20s or something, but his mindset is keeping him from growing. He wants what this person has. Right. The money, the house, the cars, the bank, the fat 401k, et cetera, but he don't want to do the work.
Yeah. He didn't just
he wants it, but he don't want to do the work.
Right.
He's reached out to his mentor, asking his mentor to loan him money, but his mentor, knowing what his pattern of spending is and how he wastes money, won't loan it to him. And then he gets mad at the mentor because the mentor won't loan him money, but the mentor won't loan him money because he will not enable him to continue his poor behaviors. So
Yeah.
him taking responsibility for his financial life and stop the crazy spending so you don't have to borrow money or make some other adjustments, healthy adjustments, so you can get to that place where you see your mentor is. You got time. You got time. But if you're not making the proper choices, and again, even with the factor of people being traumatized, people being used and abused, because that's another reason why people won't share information, because there may have been occasions where they did try and share information and someone tried to take advantage of them, okay? Or they did, and no one would listen to them because they were looking for the easy route. Too many times, like this young man wants the shortcut. I want this, that, and the third, but I don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the work. I just want to get there. I just want to be there and stay there. Well, how are you going to stay there when you don't know what it took to get there?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? How are you going to maintain the lifestyle? How are you going to maintain the fat 401k? How are you going to maintain it when you don't know how to get there? You know, that's like trying to take a journey without taking a journey.
I want to say something. We recorded regarding our bodies, right? And it just comes right back to this. I went to a few consultations in regards to this is how I want to look. Now you might see a picture. I don't look at people, let's say online, but just again, whatever. So one thing my doctor told me, she said she's had so many people wanting different surgeries, but they didn't put in the work. If you weren't working out before, if your mindset ain't right, if you're eating the wrong food, but this is the end result that you want, you're going to go right back. So it's the same thing with finances. You see the millionaires, you see the cars, you see the house, you see all the things. How did they get there? And if you put what they put into practice, you might not be fit for it, right? So you got to start and have the mindset so that when you get there, you know how to maintain it. It'll be something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you, Cliffy. Your mindset. So do you have a wealth mindset? Do you have a wealth mindset? What is a wealth mindset? What is an abundance mindset? Go ahead, Miss Marcia. I see you big bite at the ship. Go ahead. What you got to say?
No, I was just gonna say, I know I've heard him on Instagram, and he has I say it's a jingle, but as he sings, I'm a money magnet. I'm a money magnet. Ching, ching, ching. Of course, I don't know the person's name, but when you said a wealth mindset, that's the first thing that came into mind. But of course, investing my money, saving my money, especially now here, things are gonna get interesting. Yeah. Yes, because there will be a government shutdown, and we don't know how long this is going to be, and they are also they're stating that no one's going to get paid. Like they always gave the government their payback. They're not going to get paid this time, and we have to be prepared for this fight. And everybody keep asking me, why you keep buying water? Well, baby, that's another way of being financially fit, because when the stuff hit the fan, I got me some supplies.
Right.
I don't need to go if I don't get paid for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
If I got some water, I got me some tuna fish,
I think that comes down to strategies, right, Ms. Marcy? You
yeah,
have a strategy for what is pending to come. You're not waiting for it to arrive and then figuring it out.
exactly.
You are using your strategies, essentials and foundational tools. Exactly, Ms. H.E.R. When it comes down to anything that we desire, it's a process, whether it's financial freedom, whether moving to another country, whether wanting to be one thing or another, whatever it is you desire, there is a plan and a process that's required. So if we are seeking to own our wealth, are we educating ourselves? Are we reframing our mindset on how we think about money? Ms. Clifford, you said that money conversations are uncomfortable, right? And for me too, even when I went through a period not too long ago, having to talk to my kids and share some of my financial matters with them, it was very uncomfortable for me. I mean, even my son would come to me and say, "Mom, you're not comfortable talking about bills." I'm okay talking about bills, just not my bills. That's honestly what it was. I can talk about bills, just not my bills, right? But I had to own that because it was a revelation for me of being very uncomfortable with sharing my financial whatever with others, and especially those that are close to me. But then that spoke to me of how my affairs are not in order as I would like for them to be. Therefore, I am uncomfortable with sharing, right? Because had my affairs been in order, I was like, oh yeah, certainly X, Y, Z, Z, and this. But because I'm not where I know I can be, it's uncomfortable for me to share that. So now, okay, now with me having that understanding, me owning that clarity, what am I going to do to get past that? To not be in that uncomfortable state of not wanting to talk about my financial matters because they're not where I know they can be, and I haven't done the work yet. So what am I going to do to correct that, right? So owning my wealth means owning the journey, owning the work, not running from the work, or like me ignoring it as if it don't need to be. Nope, I don't even need to worry about that right now. I got other things to worry about, right? We're good at putting things off. We're very good at putting things off. But as women, and why in my opening statement I said women owning their wealth, because no matter your circumstances, as a woman, it's important to have a handle on your wealth. Yes. Have a handle on your spending, have a handle on your credit score, have a handle on your investments, because when you are, whatever your situation, whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you're looking to be married, whatever your status is or your desire is, having your affairs in order does nothing but benefit you. No matter what you desire. You want to be single, that's fine. It benefits you. You want to be married, that's fine. It benefits you. So having your affairs in order benefits you no matter what direction it is you decide you want to go into. But in order for you to be in that place, taking responsibility for it and owning the work and doing the work, small steps equal great gain. Yes. Small steps equal great gain. You don't have to pay off $70,000 or $85,000 or $25,000 in debt today, but making them small steps to pay it off. And like Ms. Cliffy shared, that maybe or maybe not use the credit cards, but before you go to investing, how about trying to pay the bills off? Now, in my mindset, I'm thinking, well, why can't I invest and pay bills off too at the same time? I don't know. I have to get education on that a little bit more. Maybe
me too. I'm with you.
Right? Do both, right? Maybe not put a lot into my investing, more into paying my bill, but whatever plan suits you. Do you have a plan? Are you working your plan? So, lady, as I thank you so much for all that you shared. It was really good information. Even our producer got in on the conversation. Love it.
And real quick, I'm a money magnet. Ching ching. So that's King Soon. Thank you, Sha, for that. So she said it's money mantras.
We might want to put that link in the notes for the show so people can access that, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So this has been a good conversation. Like every topic we have, we can go on for much longer than this, but we're going to go ahead and get to a point of bringing things to close. If you take nothing else from this show today, you guys, I want to say this: just be sure that you take responsibility for whatever financial situation you desire, whatever it is. It ain't for me to say. Take responsibility for it. Educate yourselves. Talk to some people. Get a trusted friend that you can talk to and be able to be transparent with them, because either y'all can learn together or you can teach them or they can teach you. But own your journey, because it's not going to drop out of the sky, y'all. As much as we wish that shining armor would come, that knight in shining armor would show up and give us everything we desire, it ain't happening. Not right in this time, right now, anyway. So, closing remarks, ladies. Miss Cliffy, what you got to say?
Oh, money comes from God. It comes from Him. So let's manage it well, so we can get more. and more
Yes.
and more. But yeah,
Yes.
let's definitely tune into studying and learning and gaining the knowledge and sharing information. Let's share it.
Yeah.
Let's share the information. Yes. Mercy.
And I would say be open to learn about new things
Yes.
as far as finance.
I was trying to hold that sneeze in forever, y'all. I was trying to hold it in, but anyway. So yes, yes, yes. Just take ownership for what it is you desire. No matter, even when it comes down to money, whatever it is, take ownership of it. Educate yourself and execute. Don't give yourself
Yes.
excuses. Execute. So with that being said, we're going to get to our affirmations about your financial empowerment. I take full ownership of my financial journey, knowing that the wealth I desire will manifest through knowledge, action, and perseverance.
I release all limiting beliefs about money and embrace prosperity.
Amen.
Amen.
I acknowledge that it is the Lord who empowers me to create and manage my wealth. I embrace my financial responsibility and commit to using my resources wisely.
Yes.
And
Oh, don't forget the scripture.
Yeah.
remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your ancestors as it is today. Deuteronomy 8, verse 18.
Fantastic. So, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, commenting, liking, and sharing. And come back for the next episode. We are growing, y'all. I think we're like over 500 plus views on our channel. So I'm
Thank you
excited
for
about that. We are
watching.
super excited about that. So keep
Yes.
it going, keep it coming, keep supporting us as we continue to share our journey, share our knowledge, and share these wonderful affirmations. I hope you guys are writing these down because they go when they come, they're gone. They don't come back again. When they
Screenshot.
come,
You gotta watch
that's
it
it.
again.
Whatever you have to do, because when they come, they're gone. We're not storing these up. So, with that being said, Miss Clivia, what's our closing statement we say every time we have an episode?
Drum roll, please. You are your first priority, so act like it.
Absolutely. Let's give snaps to that. Yes, yes, and yes. All right, everybody. Thank you again for being here. And we're going to say so long until the next one. Peace and blessings to you all. Bye bye.